Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about Ark Wildcard and really some of the issues that they've had over the years. And if there's one thing you can count, actually I'll say two things. There's two things you can count on Wildcard. I'll give you a good one first. One is that you can count on them being creative in their new content, and I'll give them a lot of credit for that. And two, you can count on them breaking the game often. Unfortunately, and this video's not really I'm not bashing Wildcard. I think they get enough grief, but we're just going to be transparent, talk about the issue, and talk about what could potentially be a solution for the issue. So, Summer Bash broke consoles for a little bit. I'm sure that they're working I have no doubt they're working very hard to get it cleared up. And so when it's all said and done, maybe we'll have 2 days that, the game has not really been functioning well, because even right now, we haven't had a client-side patch yet on console, and so the game is just not working properly. And then they had to do a rollback and all this. And so I'm sure it caused a lot of problems, especially for people who were raising creatures. But anyway, what is the issue? Why is it when Wildcard releases these patches or new content that there are so many bugs and so many things that break the game? For example, when Extinction released, they somehow deleted the Tech Rock Drake saddle from the game completely. Don't know how they did that. I mean, I'm sure they wrote like a new code and deleted an old code to optimize or something like that, and it took out the saddle. But if you ran that Rockwell boss on alpha and had that saddle, after they broke it, you did not have that saddle anymore, which kind of sucks, because Rockwell is kind of a tough, fight to get into on the official network. If you don't have an aberration set up really well, it's kind of tough to get into that fight. So, that's just one example, but over the years, it's always been something. So what is the issue? Why is it that this constantly happens? Is it that Wildcard's lazy? Are they incompetent? Maybe. I'm not discrediting maybe. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that there's some very competent people. This is a very creative and complicated game. I think the real issue is, and this is based off of what I know about the industry, is that they have a serious cash flow problem. And you might think to yourself, well, wait, but how do they have a cash flow problem if they charge AAA prices for the base game and for all their DLCs? Well, this is probably, in my opinion, I'm guessing if we were to run some sort of survey or test or something, this is probably one of the, if not the most expensive video game on the market to maintain. And again, you might be kind of shocked to hear that. There's no other game that's like Ark. Even it doesn't, I do play on console, but even in the PC market, there's no game like this. There's no game that requires the amount of resources on the data center side in order to function. And so, let me just give you a little insight. Pretty much the biggest game series of all time, Call of Duty, we all know it. For the longest time, Call of Duty, their servers, on the server side, basically their servers were there to just record data. They didn't actually host games on the servers. It used to be hosted on the client side, so like as PlayStation as an example, it would gauge the ping of the people in the party or on both teams, and whoever had the best connection would host the game for everybody. And that's how it was for the longest time. And then, are you bringing your own Giga? Okay. And then, they started hosting their own matches. Obviously, if they host the matches, the performance is going to go up. But still, even then, it doesn't really require that many resources, because they can, on a single machine, I'm just giving arbitrary numbers because I don't know how exactly it works, but on a single server, and let's say I have onboard storage, which is going to be the cheapest route. Let's say that they can host 10 games at a time. Well, after the match is over, after that game is over, and then you switch back over to the lobby server, that server that runs the matches, that game data, whatever the metrics are saved, but it's wiped, and now a new game can be played on that. Well, in Ark, that's not the case because we have all of these things that need to be saved and stored on the data center side. For example, all these tames, all these buildings that are everywhere on the map. And every 15 minutes, the game saves, and all the data that's on the map, anything that changes is saved on the server side or back-end storage, and it has to stay there. They can't just wipe it like they do for pretty much any other game. And so it takes a lot of resources to run this game. And so they have a serious cash flow problem in regards to being able to maintain this game online, because they have thousands of servers that they're leasing. And the servers are set to have 70 players, but as you know, if you're on official, it goes well over 70 players. You know, like when there's a big raid or something, it goes well over 70 players. And if you host your own server, dedicated player dedicated, it's $1 a person per slot. So if you want a server that can have 30 people, it's $30 a month. $1 a person. Now, you take a game like Ark, obviously Wildcard's not paying $1 a person because they're probably buying the lease at wholesale. But let's say it was $1 a person. You know, there's over 1 million people who actively play this game across all platforms at any time. And so on the official, well, I'm maybe not on the official network, but let's say 1 million as a number. It definitely doesn't cost them $1 million a month, but $1 million a month is a lot of money in lease. So it's very expensive for them to lease the servers. Plus, there's other stipulations to it as well. They probably get charges for data and things like that. But that's just on the server side. They have an entire staff of people who are content. They create new content. There's people who troubleshoot. There's people who do specific things. They have an entire staff that they have to pay, and they have no sort of residual income for this game. The only income they have is when you initially purchase the game, which can be anywhere from free to $60, depending on when you purchase it and where you purchase it from. And then the DLCs, which are typically $20 a pop unless you buy the season pass. Other than that, they have a few cosmetic bundles, but they're so dated, they're so old, that they're probably not generating hardly any revenue on it. And so without the revenue, they don't have a way to become profitable to really hire enough people to work on this game. I imagine that the majority of the people who are developers who actually work on the game are working on new content, and the team that's troubleshooting old content is probably much smaller. And so my proposal for them to make more money is very simple, and I'm sure they've discussed it, and for whatever reason they haven't moved forward with it, but they need more cosmetic purchases. Things that don't help you in the game, but people will still spend money on because they're cool. And the major difference is, I don't have any cosmetics on me right now. Let me see if there's any in this train. After this lag spike. Whee. Okay. The major difference is going to be, okay, there's a witch hat here, right? You get this witch hat from doing something in-game. I think all the in-game cosmetics should stay, remain the same. Keep releasing in-game cosmetics for events, bosses, whatever. But, like, let's say I had to pay for this witch hat. Anybody could wear this. So it's not really profitable for them to release content like that because, if you play with 10 people, only one person has to purchase the skin. Everybody can use it. It's not profitable from a business standpoint. For the paid skins, they need to really be premium skins, and there needs to be another box over here on the character side, or even on the dino side, to where you tap the box and it opens a little mini menu and shows you all the skins that you have, and maybe it's like a store or something or whatever, and it shows you the possible skins that you could get, and you can just switch your skin at that time. So, like, as a very, very simple example, something that they could make tens to hundreds of thousands on easy. Season 1 bundle, 3 skins, 3 character skins. 1 is a superhero skin. It's got a cape, whatever. 2, a ninja skin. It's like a ninja outfit or, whatever. And then 3 could be like a cyborg or something. I don't know, anything. They have much more creative people than me. What I'm saying is to get those skins in the season bundle, $10. 10,000 people will buy that. That's a $100,000 deal right there. They hire 1 or 2 artists to work on this. Probably don't even need that many. And then boom, as long as you release those once a quarter, then you're multiplying your dividends by, maybe 4 times. You can hire more people to work on the game. That's just a simple example. $10 for a skin pack is very low. If you look at Fortnite, their skin packs are much more expensive. $10 doesn't go far on Fortnite. And Fortnite is making a fortune. It's a $1 billion game. If they had these things in this game, it'd be awesome. And they could do maybe skins for tames as well. I don't know. They'd have to roll them out kind of slow because it'd be difficult. But take the most popular tames and maybe throw a skin on them. And as far as just to backtrack on the player skins, remember, it's not pay to win. The birthday suit skin is in this game already. If you put that on, nobody can see what kind of armor you have on. So like if you're fighting someone and you can't tell that they have Flak or Riot, they could just put on the birthday suit skin. That's been in the game forever. So the cosmetics for at least the player, there's no real advantage to it, except that it looks cool and lots of people will buy it. 100% people will buy those. They could do more, just all around sort of cosmetic things that don't help don't give you an advantage in PvP, but people will still pay for it. I'm telling you, it would generate a lot of revenue. They'd be able to hire additional hands to help with help with the game, and it would also offset the cost of their data center, their leases for the data center. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I hope that they can figure something out because I really do love this game. The game from a player base is doing very well. They just recently saw their highest spike ever, so when people say that Ark is dead, they're just saying that out of salt. It's not actually true. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think below, and until next time.